Yes, folks. Good morning. This is Who Did You Boycott Today? I happen to be up listening in on Black 666 with his space open on Twitterland. This man has taken a dislike to me because I don't know really why. To be honest with you, I really don't know why. All I know is that I did my evaluation, that I went in his room a couple times and he disrespected me, and I just showed myself to the exit, and then I put his name in my title. That's what I proceeded to do. But I ain't never done anything that went out my way or did not go out my way to disrespect this man. But I think he's been out of shape with me because he know I'm not a flunky. I think that's really at the core root of his dislike for me. He just named off a couple of Negroes and attached it to this man called Noble Negro. I ain't never had a conversation with Noble Negro. But see, that's the kind of thing that folks run around here on Twitterland, painting these lying narratives and connecting people with people who they don't like. I don't know the man, but he named off the farmer's name, talent name, and my name, and then he gonna say, well, I don't know about Aeon. Well, I think that's another reason why he don't like me, because of the disagreement that me and Aeon had about the word hate and white supremacy. I'm gonna speak my mind because I'm tired of this sorry man. If he got a darn backbone, he'll come into one of my spaces and say it to me. But he's not gonna do that. He's gonna sit in his little comfortable stage as a host for his own room and make up lies about me. I ain't never made up a lie about this man. So he's in there with his little folks who gonna swallow everything that he say out of his mouth. But that man is not. This man is not gonna come into my space that I open and say that lie. I can't even tell you who he was lying on me about because I could not catch the name. The best that I caught was somebody named Jason. I don't even know the name that he was saying out his mouth connecting me to. But I know what the real deal is because they know I have got on my broadcast and broke down how they are harming Negroes and Black Americans by this nonsense of this fake, the funk Pan-African. That's another reason why they don't like me. Excuse me, but they're not going to have the backbone to come in my room and have that conversation. They're not going to never do that. As long as Twitter is up, they are never going to come in my space and have that conversation with me. I have invited them. I have been to their space. I put myself in their room on purpose. But they have not shown the same backbone to come to my space and have a conversation with me. I have showed a backbone over and over, going to their space and went up on their stage and said what I had to say. But they have yet, for well over a year, they have yet to come to one of my spaces and talk to me the way they want to gain up when I get on their stage. That's weak people. I know how to do evaluation of when I'm in the presence of weak people. They have to be in numbers to feel empowered. They have to be in numbers, and they have to be on their turf, and they have to be control of that little mute button. They have to be in control of that little mute button. They ain't got the backbone to come in my room. I have invited these sorry human beings over and over again. I'm not gonna lean on the mute button. I'm gonna let you speak your piece, and then I'm gonna respond to you accordingly. But if I was these Pan-Africans, I would be getting a plane ticket because the Negroes / Black Americans are in a hell of hot water. They are way past crisis mode. So if these people don't want to be around when the shit hits the fan, they better get their plane ticket now. They better start making plane reservations right now, because I've been making my recordings about those persons who are running around here telling our people to continue to identify as Black Americans and African Americans. You need to go read that darn definition on the OMB. You are going to end up like Palestinians. You folks are playing with fire and dangerous. You don't have an identity. You do not have a birthright. You do not have an ethnicity in America. So you ain't satisfied that America has harmed your behind for 54 years. All you millions running around here identifying as Black American and African American, you not happy that America has harmed your behind for 54 years. Now you want that same harm to go to your children and grandkids because you have the ability to go read a definition. Each one of you adults have the ability to go read a definition. But getting back to Black 666, come to my space, man. You're going to stay in my title for a while. I'm not going to get off of it. So he's in there doing all his little freedom talk. They sorry behinds are in the same boat with the Caucasians and the Asians and the Latinos and the Mexicans and every immigrant that's against the Negro. I'm not going to mention Black American. I have told you folks, I have abolished the word white and black. For you folks to still be not understanding how to separate, that you will not be giving up your black pride and your black power and your black culture to abolish the word Black American. Because you adults have not had enough backbone to explain that to your people. You have not had enough backbone to explain that to your people. America came up with two words, white and black, to harm your behind and my behind, and to make themselves think they were superior. Why you folks can't comprehend that is beyond me. But you have had 150 years of no human rights, no self-respect, no protection, and no resources. And y'all still wake up day after day. The fine print is that you are not recognized in America. Do I need to say it any clearer? Read the fine print in the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It does not apply to you. It applies to every immigrant. It applies to every immigrant based on the wording. Based on the wording, read the wording in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and tell me I'm lying. And then go read that definition on the OMB and explain how that definition on the OMB, by any stretch of the imagination, make the Civil Rights Act of 1964 apply to your behind. It does not. America bamboozled us, and they sabotaged the ancestors. And I can accept that accountability. I don't have to pretend to be brain dead and lie to myself. I can tell myself the truth. And you folks are playing with fire. You folks are playing with danger. You do not have an identity in America. Yourself, your children, and grandkids do not have any ounce of protection because you folks didn't want to save Negro. That was the only thing that gave us any rights in this country, was the term Negro. That was the only thing that gave us anything in this country. And you folks didn't care enough to fight for it. So we have literally, this is how sorry we are. This is how sorry every one of us are, that we have lost everything that our ancestors carved out for 246 years. We lost it. We lost it. And we didn't put up no fight. We didn't put up 1 ounce of fight. No, we prefer to put up a fight for a word called Black American. We prefer to put up a fight for a word called Freeman. We prefer to put up a fight for a word called ADOS. We preferred to put up a fight for a word called FPA. Well, on the 28th of March, 2024, the OMB washed down the drain the Negro ancestors' history in this country with a stroke of a pen. With a stroke of a pen, they washed down 246 years of hangings, 246 years of lynchings, 246 years of burnings, 246 years of murder, 246 years of economic wealth built off the backs of slaves, 246 years of infrastructure built off the backs of Negro ancestors. All the deaths of wars that were fought, and y'all little precious patents and inventions, they got washed down the drain too. In the whammy one, your reparations got washed down the drain that very day too. So for all you folks running around here lying to people and stringing them along, you ain't telling them that you ain't getting no red penny without Negro, because it was recorded that way. It was recorded as Negro slavery. And you would never see 1 red penny since you too good to have that word present. Go tell your people the truth. Y'all sorry human beings need to go tell your people the truth. You ain't getting nothing out of America without that word Negro. Why you think they're erasing it? They're not going to all this trouble after all these years to just decide they want to erase Negro. They planted this back in 1965. In 1965, America and the OMB and the whole world planned to erase Negro. They didn't just wake up one day and decide to do that. They planned it this way in advance. And y'all brain dead fools have done nothing to fight for your history of your ancestors. You so sorry you can't even put Negro on a JPEG. That's how sorry you human beings are. You can't even bring yourself to put Negro on a JPEG for Juneteenth. And your enemy didn't even have a gun in your head telling you you couldn't do it. That's how damaged you folks are. That's how damaged you are. That your enemy don't even have to be standing beside you to make you do something. You will just do it volunteer. You'll volunteer to do it. And you volunteer to leave Negro off of that JPEG. Because I know good and darn well, nobody was standing beside you with a gun. You made that decision on your own. And so, that is what you're looking at. But the whammy, the big whammy, is that you don't have an identity anymore. You don't have an official birthright. You do not have an official identity. You do not have an official ethnicity. And if you're not careful, are not going to be at your door one day and it's going to look like Palestinians. Those folks can't walk 5 steps out their door without going through a checkpoint. They can't take 5 steps without going through a checkpoint. They can't sit in their living room without being monitored. They can't go to the bathroom without being monitored. They can't walk to the kitchen without being monitored. Do y'all think America is doing this by accident? Do y'all think America is doing this by accident? Every immigrant on that census report is recognized as a birthright. Every immigrant on that census report is recognized as an identity. Every immigrant on that census report has an official ethnicity. That's the first part. The second part, every immigrant on that census report have a national origin. Y'all hear that? National origin. Number three, every immigrant on that census report come from a nation. They migrate from a nation. That's the big one. Black American and African American don't have any of those three. So you got 3 strikes right out of the gate. You have 3 strikes before you put your foot on the floor in the morning. Before your little 2 feet touch the floor, you already got 3 strikes that America is using to continue to harm you. That's right. Y'all swallow that. Y'all swallow that while y'all continue to open these spaces on Twitter land, being proud that you are a Black American. You are saying nothing. It means nothing. America has put it there as just a word. It means nothing. And they have shown you and me that for the past 50 years. Have they not? Have they not shown you that for the past 50 years? But you brain dead still get up and proudly say, I'm a Black American, I'm an African American. Your enemy has harmed you for 54 years because they started lumping Negroes under a term called Black American and African American. That's what they did. They made that diabolical decision to lump Negro descendants under a term called Black American and African American, and it has been 54 years of harm. But y'all folks still get up day after day, so proud. But you're going to find out soon enough. You got maybe a year or two before your enemy get the rest of the things in place. They need about another year or two, and they'll have everything in place to make sure you are a permanent underclass, that you are permanent underclass. And then that's why it's just really downright pitiful that you folks don't have enough backbone to threaten to withhold your vote. God giving us one opportunity to demand our justice, and y'all passing it up. Y'all are handing it over to your enemy. God has given each of us this opportunity to threaten to withhold our vote and demand our justice once and for all. God giving us that opportunity, and you folks is giving it away. You are giving it away to your Republicans and your Democrats and your independents. You are giving it away. And you're going to walk in that booth and you're going to walk out of that booth empty-handed, because Donald Trump cannot undo this invasion. Donald Trump cannot undo this takeover. You are 4 years late. The Latinos and the Mexicans and all these immigrants have locked down their voting block in 2020. And they still having babies. And no telling how many have turned 18 since 2020. So you are 4 years late. You are 4 years late. You are 4 years late. And nothing's going to change that. Because they are busy having babies. While you folks are busy having events and pull-ups and celebrations, they busy having babies. They busy buying land and houses and investing in businesses. While y'all brain dead people are wasting your money caping for your enemy, they are busy buying land, houses, and investing in businesses and having babies. See how that works? See how that disconnect is there? See how disconnected you human beings are? But I'm getting back to Black 666. I'm gonna address him today. That's why this is the purpose of my broadcast, because this sorry weak man is in his space lying on me, and I couldn't quite hear it clear enough. All I knew is that he was lying on me, and he was attaching me to a person that I couldn't even make out the name of the person he said out his mouth. That's how I don't even know who he is talking about, but who he is trying to attach me to and make up and say a bald-faced lie on me, to the degree at least blackness, pick somebody I know. At least have enough backbone to pick a person that I know, that I have interacted with on Twitter land in the last year. At least do that much to make your lie halfway believable. If you're going to make up a lie about somebody, at least make sure that person has interacted with that person. Because from what I could hear, and I couldn't hear it all the way clear, somebody named Jason and Noble Negro, I have never associated with Noble Negro. I've only came aware of him in the last couple of months. So I know I ain't built no connection with him whatsoever. I only know his name because of being in a couple of spaces that Mark King Carter and Derek Gibson and Damon Jones, aka Clarence Thomas. Those folks run in the same circle. I don't run in the circle with those people. I didn't run in the circle with Mark King Carter on Clubhouse, and I don't run in the circle with him on Twitter land. So those are the persons. Back Black 666. You should have got your facts straight before you got on a public app and made a fool of yourself. You should have did that, because I don't know this person that you trying to attach me to. I don't have a clue. That person name that came out of your mouth, named Jason and Noble Negro, I don't have any interaction with either person. So if you're going to make up a lie, at least try to make it halfway true. If you're going to go through the trouble, if you're going to go to all the trouble to make up a lie, at least try to make it believable. So come to my space if you got the backbone to come tell me, so I can hear it with my own two ears very clearly. I'm inviting you to come to my space. You can send me a DM message. I don't have you blocked no more, I don't think. But if I do, just let somebody send me a message and I'll undo it. But I don't think I have you blocked. I'm listening to his space on my burner right now. Because, see, if I go in on my other regular Twitter account name, he's going to kick me out the room, or he's going to close down his room. Because y'all got some type technology. You folks got some technology that identifies a person even when they own an anonymous account, even when they trying to listen anonymous. You folks is going to figure out some technology that I do not understand. I don't understand it, but I have watched the pattern. That Pan-Africa space, if I go in on my regular account, they close their room down within about 5 or 10 minutes after they recognize I'm listening. And I'm expecting him to figure out my little new burner account. And he probably going to do process of elimination. And then he going to say, oh, that's her right there. That's her. That's a new burner account of hers that I have identified today. He probably gonna figure it out. More than likely, he'll figure it out like some of you other folks is. I really don't give a darn. But for right now, I've been listening since about maybe 5 a.m. About 5 a.m. this morning, somewhere around 5 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. I've been in there listening on my anonymous account. And I was just getting ready to close my eyes. And put the phone to the side. I'm glad I didn't, because just within 5 or 10 minutes, that's when the lie came out of his mouth. I would have missed it. I would have missed the whole lie. But then again, I think he's trying to bait me to figure out what my anonymous burner account name is. That's why he said that out of his mouth too. He's trying to figure out, am I in there listening as an anonymous person? See, Back Black think he just don't know how to deal with me, because I'm a thinker. I try to tell y'all folks is God didn't give me a lot of book sense, but God gave me a lot of common sense. And so Back Blackness is in there trying to figure out. So he threw that little bait out there for me. Oh yeah, I think it was partly a bait, and partly because he disliked me because I don't like Pan-Africanism. I don't like their little fake pretense unity word. They think that if they keep on saying the word unity out their mouth, they're going to make it a real thing. And since I have shot that down every opportunity that I have gotten, they are mad at me. They're bent out of shape. They've been out of shape because they can't get me to buy what they selling with a little pretense of Pan-Africanism. Because these folks don't have 50 years. They have had 50 years over here to unify with the Negroes. They have had 50 years to unify with the Negroes. And on top of all of that, they pretend that they don't know that America is using them to replace Negroes. Now, I could have an honest conversation with you if you would say out your mouth, yes, I'm over here for a better life, and I understand that the corrupt American system, that they are using my body to replace your bloodline and your people in America. I could have an honest conversation with you if you started out talking that way, because you would have to be deaf and blind not to see that America has weaponized immigration against Negroes, and that includes your brown behind, your dark brown skin behind. It just does not include Asians. It just does not just include Latinos and Mexicans. It includes Germans, Italians, Ireland. So why in God's name would you dark brown, melanated immigrants would think it does not include you? Are you on a desert island? Are y'all brain dead people on a desert island? So if America has been using immigration as a weapon and you are an immigrant, that includes you. But they can't be honest about that. And I've had enough conversations with them now to evaluate. They are choosing not to do critical thinking and evaluate it fairly and honestly. So I don't enjoy having conversations with dishonest persons. I don't make it a habit to have conversations with dishonest persons. I have never made that a habit in my life. Once you show me that, I am going to move in the opposite direction. As fast as my little legs can take me, I am going to move in the opposite direction of you. So that's why Blackness 666 dislikes me. I think I'm still trying to figure out why he disliked me. All I know is that I got upset because he disrespected me the last 2 times that I went in his room, and I was not going to tolerate it. So I put his name in my title. I would have never put his name in my title if he had not disrespected me in his space. And I did not do anything to provoke it. I patiently stayed on my microphone and showed him the utmost respect. But when he called on me, he cut me off right in the middle of me talking and went into his little dossier for 5 or 10 minutes bashing me. But I didn't get a chance to respond. That's a weak person. That's a weak person that if you feel that you have to mute and it was my turn to talk, you had called on me. It was my turn to say a few words, and I didn't even get more than a couple of words out before you cut me off. And I'm supposed to think that you being respectful to me with that exchange? Oh no, I'm not one of these flunky and fools that are in these spaces that take that. I won't take that off of nobody. I would never tolerate anyone disrespecting me, because I know good and darn well I am not going to disrespect anyone else. So I do not tolerate disrespect. From the time I was in the 4th grade that I can remember, as far back to the 4th grade, I have never allowed anyone to disrespect me. So that is what transpired in Black 666 space the last 2 times. He did it one time. and I came back a second time. It would not be a third time. Now he's invited to come to my space, and I will respect him, and I will let him talk. I want him to tell me why he's lying on me and what is that person's name that he's lying on me about, because I could not hear the full name. I'm trying my best to stretch it out of my little head. Jason something, and somebody named Jason. And then he mentioned noble Negro. And then he proceeded to mention the farmer and talent and me, and said, well, I'm not sure about Aeon. No, it's because he likes Aeon. So he's not going to include her. I don't know why people think people are dumb and slow. Why do folks get on these public apps and embarrass themselves because they think some people don't think, oh, I know what it is. They think they think most persons are like those ones who sit in those spaces hour after hour and not saying anything. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. Skip over me. Because I think I'm always observant, and I'm a thinker. That's one thing that I know about myself. Crystal clear. That's one thing that I definitely know about myself. I am a thinker. I think for myself. That was something that was required in my household, or you was going to get ran over. The sisters and brothers were going to run over you daily if you didn't have a backbone and you didn't think for yourself. My sisters and brothers were going to run over me if I didn't learn at a very young age to stand my ground and think for myself. Because we put each other through the test. We did it. We got up purposely day after day testing each other. It was just we didn't even really think about it. We just did it unconsciously. It was so normal. I mean, so I think back blackness 666 got me confused with some of these brain dead people that he have interacted with. I'm not that person. Don't confuse me with one of those persons, because I'm not that person. And I think that's another reason why back blackness 666 to test my guts. He wants somebody he can push over, he can bulldoze. I'm not that person. I'm a woman, and I'm going to respect men, but I'm not going to let you disrespect me. I'm not going to let you try to run over me like a bulldozer and push me around. So you will get respect from me, but I'm not gonna let you try to disrespect me, run over me like a bulldozer, and play me for a fool. I'm not a fool. So that is why blackness 666 is in my title, because he lied on me in his space, and I want him to come to my space. I want him to send me a message and let me know a time that we can get together and he can tell me to my face, because I couldn't quite hear it all. And I at least want him to be a man enough to come tell me to my face. I would want him to at least be man enough to come tell me to my face on an audio app. That's as close as you're going to get. Since we can't see each other in person, the least you can have enough backbone and be a man enough to come tell me what you said in your space, because I couldn't hear it all. And so, but the part that I did hear was enough when I heard you name off the farmer and talent in my name and leave Aeon name out. You gave yourself away. You gave yourself away. you gave yourself away, poor man. Make yourself believable. If you're going to make up a lie, you should have never mentioned Aeon name, because you gave yourself away. If you're going to make up a lie, if you folks going to go to the trouble to make up a lie, make it believable. Don't expose yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't expose yourself. Don't embarrass yourself like that. It's unbecoming of an adult. But for some of you folks, some of you folks wear dishonesty like a badge of honor. I'm not oblivious to that fact. I have observed that in my 62 years. Some of you folks just walk around here with like a badge of honor to be a dishonest person. You wear like a badge of honor. I have observed that over and over in my 62 years of being on this earth. But I'm going to jump off of here and go back to listening to Lion Back Black 666, because I cannot listen to his space while I'm talking on my broadcast. So let me go listen in for a little while longer before I take a little nap and get back up and start working on my business stuff. I'm gonna leave his name in my title and see if he's man enough to come tell me what he said in his room. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he's gonna do it. But I'm gonna put his name in the title today, and more than likely tomorrow, and more than likely the next day. So he can abort it if he wants. But this man been wanting to take some shots at me for a good while, since that last time that I left out of his room when he was disrespecting me. He been itching. He been itching to take some shots at me, because he knew I was not gonna just take that mess off of him. And so he been sitting back waiting for the day when he was going to wake up and decide to take his shots. And so I guess today was one of his days that he decided he was going to take a shot at me and make a bald-faced lie on me. But he wasted his energy. He wasted his breath. He wasted time off of his life, because my character speaks for itself. My character speaks for itself. I don't know if he can say the same thing. And only those persons who associate with him, who claim to like him, who claim to be his friend, can verify that. I have no doubt that my character speaks for itself. It's been proven over and over again. So that's why nobody can come at me, because I know what kind of person I am. That's why folks despise my guts, because they cannot come at me, because I'm not fake like them. I'm not fake like them. So when they realize they can't intimidate me, they can't butt break me, they can't curse me upwards and sideways, they can't lie about me enough, then they get bent out of shape. They get bent out of shape, and I see it coming. But it's okay. It's quite fine, because it don't take no time off of my life. Unless you breathing for me, the day that you wake up and start breathing for me, then I start thinking about it. I start being concerned about your lies, about your character assassinations, about you despising my guts. The day that you wake up and start breathing for me, that's the day I'm going to start being concerned about what you're saying out your mouth. So that is what has gotten back Blackness 666 mad at me, and he ain't man enough to come have a conversation with me. He could have been done that. I even took the initiative a couple times to send him back channel messages, and a couple times he didn't reply, and they weren't even no disagreement messages. I was trying to reach across the aisle to try to figure out how this little pretense unity could try to be built on. And I had reached out to him to try to say, okay, how do you think we can approach this to try to bring to bridge some of this divide between our people? I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that, because that's the way my mother raised me. I'm going to be true to myself, and people can recognize that or they cannot recognize that, but I know who I am. and I know my character and my reputation speaks for itself. So I can go to my grave knowing that, because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change. I'm 62 years old, and I have put a lot of hard work and dedication into building my character and my reputation. Ain't nobody going to tear it down. Ain't no one going to tear it down, especially no person who pretend to be Pan-African, especially no person who pretend to be African American, especially no person who pretend to be Black liberation, Black unity. I can spot you fake folks a mile away. I can spot you fake folks a mile away. Like I told y'all, I grew up with a sister who was nothing but street smart. She was nothing but street smart. So I got a first-hand lesson from her. A first-hand lesson growing up with her. We different. We're different. But we grew up in the same household. We came out of the same mother's stomach. We cut from the same cloth for the most part. We got our differences. But she gave me a first-hand lesson on streets, folks. Because I had to live with her. And she's a Tasman devil. But I love her. I had to live with her. I had to grow up with her. But she's a Tasman devil. And I love her. And so you folks are wasting y'all energy because can't none of y'all hold a candle to her. Not one of you that I have encountered in my 62 years. I have yet to meet anyone that can hold a candle to her. Not one. It could still happen. It could still happen before I die, but it hasn't happened yet. It has not happened yet. So y'all need to go skip over me. I told y'all folks when I first came over to Twitter land, skip over me. I told y'all in the second or third week that I was on Twitter land, skip over me. Go to the next person. Go to the next person. I'm not going to seek you out. I'm not going to seek you out to have no disagreement with you, to bump heads with you. Just skip over me. Just skip over me and don't try to intimidate me. Don't try to think for me and don't try to butt break me. Just skip over me. You got a lot of folks to choose from. You got a lot of folks to choose from. You can skip over me and keep on moving. So let me get ready to go listen to Back Black 666 Live. Y'all have a good day. Have a good day. Keep yourself safe and out of harm's way. I'm going back to my broadcast. I had to change my darn title because of this bald-faced lying man. I had to change my darn title because of this bald-faced lying man.
revisions by summer 2024. Your participation in this process is really important. It is going to help us improve the way federal agencies safely and accurately collect and use information on the race and ethnicity of our diverse America. So please help us get it right. I want to thank everybody who's joined us today for the town hall, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts and perspectives. Here with me is Bob Savinsky, the chair, and Karen Battle, the co-chair of the Interagency Technical Working Group on the Race and Ethnicity Standards. They're going to give you some background on.
Oh, let me say a few more words before I jump off of here. These Pan-Africans need to get their plane ticket because the shit is getting ready to hit the fan. And if they're not careful, they're going to be here. They're going to still be here trying to cosplay Negroes and Black Americans, and they're going to get caught in the crossfires because America is cooking up something really, really, really nice for Negroes and Black Americans. So for all of these little weak backbone Pan-Africans, my advice to you is to get a plane ticket because America is cooking up something really, really nice and fancy for Negroes and Black Americans, and you don't want to be around because your backbone is not strong enough to hang around. You need to get out of Dodge because my gut tells me America is planning something like Palestinian for us. They are cooking it up and they're working overtime. It just may come a day real soon that Negroes and Black Americans are going to be faced with a situation like Palestinians. So you Pan-Africans, you better get on an airplane and get out of Dodge because this shit is getting ready to hit the fan. It's getting ready to hit the fan. And none of you weak folks need to be around. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know if you fit that description of weak, you need to get on an airplane. You need to book your plane ticket right now. Because you do not, I know good and darn well I'm not going to be standing by not one of you. Because I know for sure, more than likely, you're going to stab me in the back. So I know good and darn well, if I find myself running for my dear life and looking for cover, I'm going to make sure not one of you are in the front of me or the back of me or any side of me. I know that's one thing I'm going to do while I'm making sure I have water and protection. That's going to be my top priorities, is to make sure I can have water and protection. And then the next thing I'm going to be thinking about is that whoever is around me, they not Pan-African. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going down my checklist. I'm going to be going down my checklist. And y'all sorry human beings need to book a plane ticket. Book that plane ticket today because the shit is getting ready to hit the fan. And unfortunately, brain dead human beings in America going by Black American and African American and freemen and ADOS and FBA have lost everything that our ancestors sacrificed and died for. They let it get washed down the drain. They lost it all. They lost 246 years. 246 years for a word called Black American, for a word called African American, for a word called Freeman, for a word called ADOS, for a word called FBA. They lost 246 years of history of sacrifice and achievements. They lost it. They didn't think it was important enough to fight for it. And so they're not going to get to brag about their little patents and inventions much longer. That's what's going to be their just reward. That is what they're going to have to swallow because they didn't care enough to fight for Negro. It was offensive. It was outdated. So now they're going to have to sacrifice their little precious inventions and patents they like to brag about, because they didn't care enough to fight and tell the OMB that they wanted to save Negro. And they haven't spent 1 ounce of energy since the OMB made their decision. They've been doing an excellent job to help the OMB and America erase Negro. They won't put it on their profile. They won't put it on their timeline. They won't put it on their Juneteenth JPEG. They little precious Juneteenth JPEG. They claim to be celebrating their ancestors. How in the hell can you celebrate your ancestors and leave Negro off? I would like to understand that. I would like to kindly understand how you lying people can celebrate Juneteenth and your ancestors and leave Negro out. How do you do that? How in God's name do you sorry human beings pretend to celebrate Juneteenth and leave Negro out? Because you are fake. Because you are pretenders. Because you are liars. I'm done talking for now.